Hello and welcome. Let's get a bit nerdy. We want to talk about identifying web traffic of workloads. Workloads or servers, we don't have an identity to pass through. So that's why we forward the request through a branch or cloud connector, for example, the appliance that we provide. So this is in my lab, curl IP info IO. Oops. It's sent through Zscaler. The same works here in my other lab. There's an IPsec tunnel established, and this client is sending the request through, so it reaches the cloud, but it's not authenticated. When we go to the logs in here, what we see, the web traffic reaches the cloud, but we don't have an identity to verify. So it uses the location, either IPsec location or the branch connector location in here when reached through. This is a limitation or this nature. We rely in the location here on the source address that is identified for the branch connector, for example, or all traffic that is sent through an IPsec location to identify the workload. To further drill down, or to specifically, we can rely on subnets or individual IP addresses. In this is my client in here to identify. But how do we deal with applications, multiple applications on the same server to really identify, or we don't have a masked source IP that we need to take care of and have individual or apply individual internet policies. That's why we can leverage the JWT or JWT token. So for example, for this sublocation, you can enable enforce authentication and enable the proxy JWT authentication. This could be or needs to be sent through either IPsec, GRE, cloud, or branch connector. In our case, same in here for my lab for the branch connector, the sublocation for my specific Linux servers, and enable the proxy authentication. So how does it look like from the client perspective? We need a token. So token usually looks like this. We get a subject. Subject is mapped to an identity within Zscaler, a technical identity, the audience, the issuer that you have, that you provide the token. We validate it, IAT, and the expiration. So within Zscaler identity, we get the token validator. Token validator, subject claim is the subject you saw before, and the issuer needs to be matched in here. And the signature validation, we leveraged here from token.dev, this endpoint to verify in my lab. This could be certificates as well, but for the lab, I use this one. So heading back to the web server. First of all, if we use token, so when sending the curl request, we need to go through our global VIP addresses, do the curl, do a proxy authorization, and if we use the bearer token or any token that's not valid, it's not processed. If we leverage the string that we've created before, so we create a variable, all right, use this for authorization. The traffic again is processed via the Zscaler cloud, but additionally, we're sending the authorization. Within this token is the identity auto in this case from my test purposes. So this is applied if we go to any other service like LinkedIn, for example, you see that this is you don't have the permission to visit the site. So the identity is respected in the policy framework for this specific web request. All other requests that don't have an authentication, if I do the curl IP info once more, is unauthenticated. And the same works for the for this client here. If I do the IP curl IP info IO, it's sent unauthenticated to Zscaler via Texas in this case. And then we can do the same test. So we use any invalid token, it's not processed. And the other way around, if we leverage the same command with a valid token, again, is processed for IP info. If we go to LinkedIn once more to verify the other way around, we see the same policy, not allowed to use social network site. So it could be kind of very granular depending of what identity you leverage within the token. If we're heading to the Web Insights request, go for the location. You can narrow down this authentication token for a specific sublocation that is required. So we see now the token, the subject of the token is mapped to the identity. This obviously is an Okta identity that it's mapped to. We see the location that we saw before, but additionally we got the user context for this. Could be user, could be technical identity, whatever, and the specific domains. So all URL requests or URL categories, cloud application policies will be applied. We see these unauthenticated requests coming from the location for IP info, an authenticated request or authorized request, to be precise, from the same location to IP info, and with an authorized request from the location that it's not allowed, that is blocked. This is how to implement the JWT tokens from the application side. The application needs to handle and create the tokens, Zscaler identity, validate the token, and process the identity in the policy engine. Thanks for watching.